the fighting crime is across the government, all legs of government. That will be national, provincial, and the local. There are things that are supposed to be done by provincial and local. For instance, building houses, proper houses, is part of fighting crime. Making sure that people, they live normal, making sure that kids, they go to school. That is a part of fighting crime. Making sure that everybody's got a job is a part of fighting crime. So rather than to come and point fingers there, people must tell, especially those that are in government, at whatever level, what is their contribution in fighting crime.
We've got 4 or 5 very specific solutions. We firstly say we need specialized units again. Here in the Western Cape alone, we've got a 70% shortage of members on station level, South African Police Service level. We want to improve training. We speak about capacitating specialized units like the anti-gang unit, like K9 unit, etc. We can go through the whole list, but what we've also proposed is to say we need a more professional, evidence-based police service. We need a Scorpions 2.0, and we need to make sure that both the South African Police Service and the Department of Justice work hand in hand.
By the end of 2026, we will put 100,000 policemen on the streets. We will also ensure that the police get at least 7,000 vehicles that are in good condition, well maintained, and capable of performing the functions of the police. But more importantly is the fact that the EFF is going to look at the root causes of crime, namely poverty. And through our industrialization programs, we will ensure that more people are employed and taken out of poverty, and will look less at crime as an opportunity or as an option to derive an income.
Our crime rates are way up, too high, and people are living, especially where we are standing right now on the Cape Flats of Cape Town, in a war zone. So crime is absolutely top of the agenda for us. But unlike other parties, we are not focused entirely on policing, because policing alone will not solve crime. You have to solve the root causes of crime. You have to look at the root causes of crime, and those are the socio-economic conditions that are generating and creating the conditions conducive to crime. And unless we tackle the legacy that we inherited in 1994, we finish the redress project, invest in communities, address in the socio-economic conditions, high unemployment, the poor services that are delivered to communities, the poor amenities that are in communities, the lack of schools, the lack of healthcare and easy access to healthcare. Unless we address those issues, we will not solve crime. So throwing more policing at crime is not going to solve crime on its own. We must address the root causes of crime, and that'll be our message to South Africans.
Our people need to firstly change the government. That's the first thing, because the government we've got corruption in our government and in our organizations and in many a sector. So if you want to get rid of corruption and crime, you start from the top down, because I have personally seen what is happening in government and the levels of corruption that there are. Our crime rate and the social economic factors that is surrounding crime, we cannot ignore the fact that there's poverty, there's homelessness, there is lack of education, our children are not placed in school, so there are many factors that you cannot ignore, and you cannot see these things in isolation.
We will relook the units that is already in place, and we will restructure that units to ensure that it meets the needs of the people on the ground. And we are also saying that we will focus on visible policing and the detectives in particular, and professionalize that particular services.